moving on. Jane Austen. Let's talk Jane Austen.
Yeah, so let's talk about this a little bit. I will back this up with saying that Jane Austen is one of my favorite authors of all time. I went through a crazy Jane Austen phase, and when I say one singular phase, that's actually a lie, because I went through many phases in which I read all of her books and absolutely loved them. So the way that all of the literary analysis courses are broken down is they are sort of segmented into 3 different units. And the topics of each unit kind of vary, and so do the lengths. And we'll explore that in specific a little bit more when we get to the homework class, which will be taught by Taya. But for this class, you will be taught how to do 3 kinds of literary analysis. The first type will be film, and we'll do that by reading Pride and Prejudice, which, don't be daunted. I know that it seems scary and big, but it's actually not. It's fantastic and super fun to read. And then we're going to watch that side by side with the BBC adaptation of Pride and Prejudice and the Hollywood adaptation of Pride and Prejudice. And we're going to compare those adaptations, compare the way that Jane Austen originally portrayed all of that in her canon text, and we're going to look at the ways that film analysis can actually lead us to better understand the books themselves. And that will also be a really great way to transition into a language that, for many of you, may be a little bit uncomfortable with that sort of 19th century speak. Then we'll transition into Unit 2, War and Peace. We're going to talk a little bit about how we can look at historical novels as layered creatures. And what I mean by that is, yes, it's historical in the sense that it was written a long time ago, but we're also going to explore Vanity Fair, which is a novel written in 1848 about the Napoleonic Wars, which occurred at the beginning of the 19th century. We're going to take excerpts from different novels, which is something that was done frequently in Hum 10 and actually helps us to sort of bring in different texts and expand our knowledge, right? And then to go ahead and piggyback off of our first sort of learning of film analysis, we are going to talk a little bit about the Amazon Studios adaptation of Vanity Fair itself to help us sort of understand it and be able to jump right into the story. Finally, we have a sort of unit on imitation and reality where we talk about Northanger Abbey, which is actually Jane Austen's first written book and one of her last published. And then we're going to pair that with The Mysteries of Udolpho by Anne Radcliffe. And actually, Northanger Abbey is a satirical novel about the mysteries of Udolpho. So we will be able to kind of compare those two and look about how satire can change our understandings of the literary canon.
Awesome. I am so excited for this class because I love Jane Austen so much. During college application season, when I was waiting for like the decisions and I was just so incredibly stressed out, I watched the BBC version of Pride and Prejudice 12 times. 12 times. I know every single line. And just for everybody's benefit, how long is the TV series? Like
it's a good 6 hours long.
It's 6 hours, and I watched it 12 times because I have issues like that. And I also thought about adding to your slide like all the column scene, but I decided not to because
it's really good. I'm so excited for you guys to watch it. This is a fun class. I know that you guys are looking at me like I'm crazy, but I promise it's going to be so much fun.
Awesome. All right.